Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the second half of the Netflix anime Carole and Tuesday.
Picking up from part 1, the duo now must put together the first album with the help of some colorful characters while also facing the impending forced exodus of many citizens of the city.
We had to get some real life stuff in here, didn't we?
Yes.
Just had to do it.
Yes, because that's life on Mars, just like on Earth now.
Oh, according to this show, it's worse on Earth. It's like, man, can these people catch a break in the year 4000 or whatever?
Whoever thought you'd see a show that life on Mars in the future would be just like life on Earth now, with the same problems, the same issues. So them escaping, you might as well say escaping, and going to Mars did them no better than being on Earth.
Right, because then you got the same issues.
Mm-hmm.
And we're bringing it up because this started to become a part of the show in this half of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of people, they took it as just something that was part of the world, but it wasn't, every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay attention, you're still focusing on the music and Carole and Tuesday's story, but that part starts to become intertwined with it, and then it starts becoming a bigger focus or half the focus of the show rather than what they had the first season about the music and then becoming well-known stars.
Right, and then some of the innocence that was a part of season 1, which made this series so endearing, has been lost in this season.
Right, now if that was
until the last episode.
Right. And we're not sure if they're trying to go, more mature or something. I mean, it's MA, but we didn't think it was going to go like this much. But it's Netflix.
And maybe they were just, it's possible they were just trying to tackle something that they thought would be different, which I think is pretty much what separates American version anime from Japanese anime. Because just about every American version we've seen on Netflix puts real life situations into the anime.
Right.
And it kind of defeats the purpose of seeing the show, because when you're watching anime, you're watching, majority of the time you're watching situations that really just wouldn't happen in real life. And that's what makes it fun, that you're escaping to a reality that doesn't exist, that's fun, that's improbable, that has impossibly great looking characters and wealthy beyond limits and rom-coms and sci-fi and fantasy, and that's what makes anime fun.
Right.
But Netflix seems to want to go the direction of having reality-based anime, which kind of defeats the purpose of the anime.
Right. And anime does have some that are grounded and it's supposed to be slice of life and stuff, but they still manage to be interesting and fun, and it's like still unlike something you see in reality. So, like,
yeah, but I have yet to see one that has people in the future going to another planet and living exactly like they do on Earth
right?
now, with problems that are occurring in the U.S.
Right.
No, have yet to see that. Now, that being said, guys, have to say that this was an interesting season of Carole and Tuesday, and there were some really good episodes. And as season 1, there were some great songs, although it took quite a few episodes for it to get to those songs that really stood out and made you pay attention and go, wow, this is really great.
Right, because a few of them were kind of just like standalones. They were either like covers of other songs, or until it got towards the end, as you said, they didn't really have episodes like one song an episode. First half, pretty much every episode there was a song, whether been by the main characters or by another singer or something. But here, like I said, they waited till near the end to do it. Only if certain characters got to sing or did maybe like one or two songs.
And then we had an introduction of a couple of characters we hadn't seen before who were in the series mega singers, or mega entertainers, I should say.
Right.
And then you have a character that had dropped out of the scene because she's seen hard times, again, more of a realistic backstory. And their manager found her and helped her, and then we get a backstory on that. And then you have the introduction of some characters that are immigrants, again, something that's happening currently in the U.S. too realistic, and the immigrants are being treated unfairly. And it's just, again, for me, this season was too much steeped in reality. I like the season prior because, again, there was some innocence to it, and it wasn't so much based on, I guess, say, current issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can get current issues watching the news, which I don't watch, or reading the paper, which I don't do, or just, you know, hearing the topics and things going on, and you just sometimes want to be entertained and just see something that has nothing to do with what's going on now.
Right.
And unfortunately, for season 2 of Carole and Tuesday, that wasn't the case.
Right. And the part of the show towards the end, it was taking place around Christmas and then to New Year's. And ironically, this came out on Netflix around the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you were watching it, the way you're supposed to watch it is all the way to New Year's, and then when you watch the final episode, it would ring in 2020.
Which was an amazing way to do a series.
Right.
So that was great.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
Yes.
Unless you're a person that binge watch and you watch the whole thing before Christmas and then you're stuck. So you just to rewatch it. So yeah, it's pretty much without getting into too much detail, because they start bringing in quite a few turns towards the end, having to do with Angela and Tal and some of these new characters and stuff. A lot of crap starts hitting the fan towards the last few episodes of the series.
Right, and those things we will not do spoilers for. However, the things in the beginning we will talk about are some overused tropes of Carole, as you know, was an orphan, and then suddenly Carole ends up running to her dad, who was there from Earth, who went back to Earth and didn't even connect with his daughter or have anything to do with her. And we're like, why are you using this stereotype? And then you had a lot of political issues that were taking place within this season. Really hard political issues. And again, it just went from something that was innocent and beautifully choreographed and beautiful music and a story that everyone's familiar with, you know, people trying to make it in the business, but they made it something wonderful in season 1. In season 2, it just took a too realistic turn for me.
Right. And I agree. I think I like the first half a little more. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people, despite it being created by the same guy behind Cowboy Bebop and then even in the same universe, it's just that it kind of mismatched towards the end. And you probably figured it wasn't going to be the monumental hit like Cowboy Bebop, but it was still something nice and different.
Yes.
And, learning that the man is also really into American culture, that could be why there was such a heavy impact of politics and current events. So if the anime would be at the time current, and this was like reflecting American culture. So,
will we recommend you see it? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Especially if you've seen season 1. Just be prepared for a whole different experience. But I can definitely say that we both feel that the last few episodes, as Rascal mentioned, with some head turners, some
twists,
deep reveals, things you didn't figure out, make it definitely worth tuning in for, just to see the twist and turn it takes. Mm-hmm. And in the last episode, you may not be so happy as we were.
Well,
because we can't reveal what happens in the last episode.
Well, the most we can say is that if you're looking for more Carole and Tuesday, after this, don't hold your breath. That's about it. So,
if you've seen Carole and Tuesday, let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you haven't seen it, do you think, based on what we've said, you will take a chance on watching season 2?
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click on notification bell to get new updates on Paws Podcast.
And don't forget that all of this music is available on Spotify and iTunes. Support the artists, because these are some really talented artists. There are some very beautiful songs from not only season 2, but also back to season 1. And it would be absolutely, positively wonderful if you invested in these artists' future.
Right. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket.